Well, good morning, everybody. That video was awesome. I actually was there at the inauguration of Trump, and some great memories. It was the first time I ever been there, and hopefully I get to go back and see it again. I have to admit, yes, I am a troll, but very lucky to be able to work up here in God's country. I love coming to the UP whenever I can. I have several Right to Life groups up here that I work with and have been working with for 21 years. I'm a mother of 2 and a grandmother of 7. I've had, again, the privilege of working for Right to Life of Michigan for 21 years as a field representative in the Upper Peninsula and the tip of the Mitt. I believe that the Lord has directed my life for this mission and for such a time as this. I'd like to go back a few years where I really believe God laid the foundation for what I do today. My dad is a pastor, and at the age of 12, we lived in Traverse City. My father at that time was responsible for bringing a controversial movie into town. As we walked into that movie theater, what I remember most were people protesting outside of that movie theater and outside of the cinema. I later figured out that when the truth is exposed, many people would rather protest or pretend it didn't happen. The name of that movie was called The Hiding Place by Corrie ten Boom. The movie was about the ten Boom family. It took place in 1940, when a holocaust of war and hate swept across Europe. Their home above a clock and watch shop became a literal hiding place for many whose names were on the extermination lists of the Nazi occupiers. The ten Boom family risked everything to save the life of a few in a small hiding place in the upstairs of their home, saving the lives within those walls. Corrie ten Boom, her sister, and father were finally arrested by the Gestapo and thrown in the deadly concentration camps. Following the deaths of her father and sister, Corrie, by accident, was released literally from the pits of hell of Auschwitz. I lived in West Germany, where my husband was stationed with the United States Army. At that time, I was able to tour Dachau concentration camp. What I remember most about that tour was a photo of a mother holding the hands of her children, walking them to the showers to their death. That photo has been glued in my brain ever since. It was then I asked myself, would I ever have the courage and the strength to stand against all odds with knowing such evil and risk the people that I love the most? Today, I can boldly say that I would. We are living in a new Holocaust where children are being walked into the death camps of Planned Parenthood and being tortured and literally ripped apart in the most barbaric means possible. Since 1973, over 60 million children have been killed as a result of the Supreme Court's decision, the Roe v. Wade decision, legalizing abortion nationwide through the most horrific means imaginable. Planned Parenthood has taken our money and killed the most innocent among us, calling it empowerment for women and a right and a fact of life. It is, however, a fact of death. In the world today, there are 4 countries that allow the murder of our children up to all 9 months of pregnancy. China, with their forced one-child rule, North Korea, and you guessed it, the United States of America and Canada. After 21 years and learning from the best leadership within Right to Life of Michigan, I believe we must continue to educate our communities and our friends and our family on the truth of what's going on in our country, even if it's unacceptable or uncomfortable. I also believe that without a doubt, legislation saves lives, plain and simple. In Michigan, abortion has taken more lives than Alzheimer's, opioid overdose, breast cancer, motor vehicle accidents, and prostate cancer and leukemia combined. These numbers are according to the Michigan Department of Health. I often hear people say to me, "But you're so political." I quickly respond with a proud absolutely. Without pro-life legislature in the House and Senate, literally lives are lost, and all of our successes are lost with it. Common sense tells me that if my state rep or state senator is not pro-life first and foremost, why in the world would they care about me after I'm alive? Much of the legislation Right to Life of Michigan has worked on, such as the Rape Survivor Child Custody Act, the Born Alive Infant Protection Act, safe delivery for newborns, and end-of-life care, just to name a few. All of our successes are a direct result of going to the polls and voting for your pro-life candidate. For those of us in Michigan who value life, the way forward is very clear. We must let our elected representatives know our opinions on this matter and do all that we can to hold them accountable. There are times I'm surprised at the many ways evil will mask itself and how many ways the left come up with to murder and get away with it. Some of the many calls we receive into our office are end-of-life calls. Euthanasia means mercy killing, literally good death in Greek. In modern practice, the term euthanasia now encompasses acts from lethal injections to doctors assisting in suicide by prescribing patients lethal doses of drugs to withholding basic levels of care from non-terminal patients. In all cases of euthanasia, the action or omission is expressly intended to cause the death of a person. The problem with euthanasia is a direct threat to human dignity, patients' rights, and the disabled. It endorses killing a patient as a solution to problems that can be solved through better medical or personal care. Real compassion for the dying comes through meeting all of their needs, physical, emotional, and spiritual. At this time, Right to Life of Michigan, our affiliates, and pro-life people throughout the state of Michigan are gearing up to override Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who said she plans to veto the dismemberment and evacuation abortion procedure when they get to her desk. Michigan's abortion precedent is unique among the United States in a really good way. First, we are one of only 8 states who have a pre-Roe ban on abortion, and our law has been in place since 1846. Our ban was reaffirmed in 1972 when the people of Michigan voted against Proposal B, which would have eliminated our abortion ban. Michigan is the only state in the union with a state court ruling declaring there is no right to an abortion under the Michigan Constitution. Right to Life of Michigan is often asked why we aren't doing the heartbeat ban or the 20-week ban. And the answer is simple. Michigan law already has a ban on all abortions except to save the life of a mother. That means we technically already have a heartbeat ban, a pain-capable ban, and a ban on sex selection and Down syndrome abortion. We are not Georgia, Ohio, or Kentucky, who do not have pre-Roe bans and therefore attempting to push the envelope by passing heartbeat bans. Each heartbeat ban that has become law has been struck down as unconstitutional. The reason our complete ban was upheld is because of our Supreme Court decision, which stated our law is allowable under the constraints of Roe and Doe and is fully enforceable to that extent. Ever since the New York legislature passed the Women's Reproductive Health Act in January, people have been outraged at the blatant disregard for life and the subsequent celebration of abortion. We are also not New York, Virginia, or Vermont, but we could be. Michigan may be just 4 seats away from having a complete repeal of all our existing abortion laws. Pro-life members held a 2-seat majority in the House and a 2-seat majority in the Senate. If we were to lose just 4 seats, the current governor and anti-life members of the legislature would immediately repeal our old abortion ban or subsequent abortion laws like parental consent, informed consent, and clinic licensing. This is not hypothetical. This is the first that a bill has been introduced to completely repeal our long-standing ban on abortion, and last year bills were introduced to repeal the 24-hour waiting period, the abortion insurance opt-out, and the ultrasound viewing law, among others. If we lose those 4 seats, we would become New York overnight. So knowing we are neither New York nor Georgia, what is the best strategy for the pro-life movement in Michigan? Right to Life of Michigan considers the dismemberment abortion ban the best course of action given our unique legal foundation. To bypass Governor Whitmer's veto, Right to Life of Michigan plans to take the D&E abortion ban to the voters through a petition drive to override her veto. We will take to the streets to collect over 400,000 signatures to stop this violent and barbaric procedure. Michigan Right to Life has labored for 52 years to protect Michigan's 100% abortion ban so that when Roe v. Wade is overturned, we can end all abortions in Michigan, not just abortions after 6 weeks when a heartbeat is detected. Now is not the time to sleep or become complacent. We are so close. Our president is paving the way to ending this horrific slaughter of our children and the culture of death that has crept into our lives and our communities. These are exciting times to make change where you are and to take a bold stand. If your community does not have a Right to Life group, please see me. Let's start one. If you want to be part of getting signatures to end and override the governor, please see me. We need every pro-life person involved in working to end this barbaric procedure. Thank you for allowing me to come and share my heart and hopefully encourage you to continue to be the voice for the voiceless. May God our Father bless you and your families. Thank you.